This NFL Picks Week 15 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code SGPN.
Hey, this is Brandon Lang. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stuck in the money grave with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Happy NFL Week 15, Sean.
Yes,
we made it.
NFL Week 15. If you're watching live, doing a little earlier, flying back east. So
a lot earlier. Well, I'd say this is kind of like a tipping point when you have the injury reports that I'd say most of the teams we've gotten at least some form of information at this point on a Wednesday. But this is a very important time of day. A lot of consumption of news, notes, a lot of press. Well, that's the thing. I'm not fully consumed on all the press conferences I normally would watch, so I might not have a smile handicap. Should we cancel the show? I'm just saying I might not have a smile handicap or a. I will say I do have a couple nuggets from the press conferences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One is from the Titans. So
okay.
Strap in.
Shout out to the chat. JC from KC saying, "Can't believe it's already Week 15, Sean."
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you beat Kramer too.
This guy's on it
already. NFL Week 15.
Which, by the way, Sean, do you remember our friend from Kansas City? He used to get very mad when I questioned if the water in Kansas City cured hangovers.
Yes.
I haven't heard from him in a while. Wonder how he's doing with the Chiefs season this year.
Yeah, tough season for the Chiefs. 6-7.
Well, they might miss
against the wall.
They've not missed the postseason since 2014.
How many times did Tom Brady miss the postseason as an NFL starter, Ryan?
He did opt out that one year. The dude landed on his leg. I don't know. I mean, did he? That's a good question.
Zero.
Is it zero?
Yes.
Really?
Always made the playoffs. Tom Brady. Sign of a good quarterback making the playoffs. Some would argue.
Well, he missed the season in there. So
yeah, because he blew out his ACL in the first quarter.
I'm saying Mahomes hasn't taken a season off. So.
That's true. He took a season to rest and recuperate after blowing out his NFL.
He also didn't have a great elite defense to start his career.
Who?
Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't believe you're taking Tom Brady's side
over Mahomes.
Over anybody.
Oh, I mean, Tom Brady is. I would definitely say Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time. That's pretty. I mean, who is your GOAT?
I mean, John Elway.
All right, so you're just being a troll. Who is your GOAT then, Ryan?
I mean, you have to observe the Super Bowl prowess of Tom Brady.
Okay, but then who's your GOAT?
I would never use the term my GOAT. But
who is your number one quarterback all time? If you're giving me grief for saying it's Brady, who is your number one quarterback all time?
It would probably be Brady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just giving me grief.
Well, I was just like I said, I was
there. You
a little troll job.
Yeah, you are.
You're on edge right now. I understand.
No, you're just. People say I should call out your trolling more often.
Trolling it. I mean, I actually feel like it's good
rage
journalism.
Baiting, however you wanted to describe
journalism. I'm asking the question that the people want answered.
What is that?
Oh, just general journalism type questions. Like, how are you feeling about the Eagles? What happens if they lose this game against the Raiders? Things like that.
How are you feeling about your New York Giants? Another season missing the playoffs, another rebuilding year.
Yeah, I've already processed all that. You're trying to pile all this shit on top as if it's going to.
Yeah, I guess your season ended.
It's already processed.
Ended 2 months
Jackson
ago.
Dart's awesome. Malik Neighbors will be back
Is
next
he
year.
awesome?
Scadaboo's already.
We sure about Jackson Dart?
I mean, you can play this.
Sure about
unlike that? I'm not going to be affected by your
sure about
attempts to. No, I'm positive about that. Positive.
Didn't look that good against the Pats.
That was a bad game. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a weird game all the way around, but yes, it would be great to have a full assortment of.
And he's glowing against the close your eyes special, so you have to take the Commanders. I'm excited to hear that.
Well, we'll talk about it. The Commanders are a very interesting case when it comes to close your eyes specials.
All right, let's get into it. We got a full 16 games, Ryan. Enough of your gossip.
They did finally get rid of the stupid bye weeks. I would, if I was in charge, I'd condense the bye weeks back down. Like they need to start later and end earlier. Just get it out of the way. Just have like an area where it's just we're gonna chop out. We're gonna have like 10 games a week for a little bit here, and we'll get out of this period quickly so we can go back to full games. Where Sean, we have fabulous slate, 8 early games, 5 late games, lots to watch. But we start on Thursday night where we have a battle in the NFC South. And it starts with one of our close your eyes specials. Of course, lots of questions about the close your eyes special.
Yeah.
Lately, so we'll explain it. If you underperform the spread by 21 points or more, like the Falcons did last week and getting their ass beat by the Seahawks, and you are catching points this week as they are against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa, where the Bucs are laying 4.5, minus 140 on the money line. Atlanta plus 205, 44.5 is the total. You are a close your eyes special. In some ways, this one looks almost too good to be a close your eyes special. The Bucs are reeling. Baker has been one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL over the last couple of weeks, and their defense has not been a typical Todd Bowles defense. They are getting Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan back.
Should help.
K-Dot will not be out there. I don't know what to think about this Bucs team. Typically, I would just be like, I'd find a way to just be like, I need Baker to win this game for my division bets. Move on. But fortunately, it's a close your eyes special. And I do think you brought up a great point in the prop show that Kirk Cousins has been the shiniest of shit against the Bucs for whatever reason.
Yeah, his 2 games last year and playing against the Bucs, 509 yards. That was that crazy shootout in Atlanta. 509 yards, 4 touchdowns, OT win, and then in Tampa, 276, 4 touchdowns. So he had 8 touchdowns throwing against his Tampa Bay defense.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I know. We always talk about Kirk Cousins and his struggles in primetime, but Baker quietly making a run here as far as struggling in primetime. 2-12 last 14, 4-10 ATS. I just think this is going to be a close game. Now the Falcons have been brutal as far as figuring out ways to lose, but I think 4.5 is too high. This should be like 3 points. You look at the last 5 times they've played with Baker as their quarterback, +3 for the Bucs, -5, -6, +4, -3. So they have not covered the 4.5 there yet in this matchup in the last 5 at least. I think this Falcons defense can hang around with the Bucs offense. Now we'll see what Mike Evans does. Obviously it's huge getting him back, but man, Baker's just looked rough. 53% completion percentage in the last month. Now some of that is our boy Emeka Big Boo.
He is relying on rookies mostly.
Yeah, Tez Johnson, guys like that. So getting Evans back should be huge, but then losing Otten, him being a late scratch, that's not certainly that's not helpful. But yeah, and taking the Falcons in general, Cousins have not been good ATS. They've figured out ways to lose. I understand the concern in backing the Falcons. Tristan Wirfs is back. That's another point for the Bucs, but I don't think you can take the Bucs laying more than than 3 right now. 4.5 feels like a 1.5 too high. So you got to go Atlanta here.
Yeah, field goal game. I agree with you, but doesn't matter because I'm going to church. And it does seem large. I mean, the spread was 5.5. It has been bet down.
Ryan, got a question. Is the close your eyes special for the spread or money line or both?
I mean, spread. Now, if I'm playing a dog, I'm always thinking about, should I put a portion of my bet on the money line? But no, I would say in general, the paper tickets that I've bought on the close your eyes special. I guess what would we call it? What do you get when you go to church? Those have all been just point spreads, and they've gone 8-4 ATS this year. BTW. And the last time we had 3 in 1 week, Sean, we had a 3-0 week.
Let's go.
A lot of nuggets. Also worth noting, we bellyache about the Tampa Bay special teams every week. Falcons are worse per DVOA on special teams, which seems impossible. So maybe a leveling area, but it's Thursday night. Take the points. Feel like the dog's been exceptionally strong on Thursday night.
Let's go Falcons plus 4.5.
To check back to at Kramer Centric to see how I feel about Raheem Morris as this game's going on.
He is. It is frightening betting on the Falcons.
Oh, it's just not a well-coached team, and it's Kirk Cousins.
No, he's a classic coordinator, not a head coach.
All right, first of the 8 games in the 10 a.m. window on Sunday, we have the Arizona Cardinals, who at this point it does seem like the destinies of Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon have been written. A little surprised that I guess I understand why the Cardinals would wait till after the season to clear everything out, but it does seem like we're getting closer to a clear out. Again, the performance of Jacoby Brissett has changed, and the defense becoming hot garbage has kind of solidified everything. Cardinals going into Houston, where the Texans are laying 9.5 minus 470 on the money line. Cardinals plus 375, 42.5 is the total. And this was one that when I was noting the look ahead lines, I was a little surprised to see, well, one, that this was a 2.5 back in May, but it was 6.5 last week. Now I understand that, CJ Stroud's popping up towards the top of the EPA graphs. If you frame it over the last 3 to 5 weeks, I understand their defense looks ferocious, and the Cardinals will be without left tackle
Paris Campbell,
or
Paris Johnson. Sorry,
you led me down the wrong path, and I followed Paris Johnson. And the Cardinals just in general have shown that they're kind of fun for a fantasy purpose, but they're going to give up points, and they're probably going to get points, but they have this problem where they're going against the Texans defense this time. And you wonder if Michael Wilson and the rest of that offense are going to be able to get it done. All of that being said, my God, laying 9.5 with the Texans is kind of a terrifying proposition. They are still the Texans. I'm still not all the way in on CJ Stroud, although the data is starting to make me. It's like a Jordan Love situation. I don't give a shit what the data tells me. My eyes tell me something else, but they've been much better on offense. And so,
I don't, he's not Josh Allen, but he's not below average. I think he's a slightly above average quarterback, which when he doesn't turn the ball over, I think he's a value add to the Texans offense. I like the Texans' ability to run, getting Woody Marks going. The thing with the Cardinals is, man, they are just they don't mind coming through the back door. They, the resurgence of Jacoby Brissett and just getting it going with the passing game with Michael Wilson, who's putting up insane numbers right now. It's tough to lay double digits. Like the Texans just had a massive franchise. Hey, we arrived. We took down Showtime Mahomes.
That's a great point. I didn't even factor the dump of the gator, the metaphorical
Showtime Mahomes.
Just a little bit. I think this is a little sleepy spot here for the Texans and the Cardinals. As much as they've kind of sucked, for the most part, are playing hard. Now the problem is a defensive touchdown. A defensive touchdown could swing this spread, and we've seen Jacoby Brissett, a la the Seattle game, where you give up some early defensive touchdowns, and it's just never a game. That is the concern. I would say, if you've been keeping an eye on the injury status, Walter Nolan looks like he's back for the Cardinals. First round pick for them. I was optimistic on Walter Nolan coming into the season. He played a little bit he's injured for the start of the season, then played a little bit, looked really good, then got injured again. When he's been out there, he's been kind of a difference maker for that defense. So in general, their defense has been pretty rough, but I think getting Nolan back out there is going to be helpful for them. So I will take the Cardinals getting the 9.5 points. When in doubt, take a big dog here, but
I mean, he's also left a couple games with injury. He seems like a guy who's the lineman on the Landon Dickinson. It's just a guy that gets banged up a lot. Walter Nolan does see, so far he's shown us that he likes to get hurt. I think he's left half the games he's played in with injuries. So that's but yeah, I mean I don't often give a shit about the look ahead numbers, but this one stood out to me as to why I don't quite understand why the number jumped. Nothing has changed really with either team. If anything, this is just a high point. We sell a lot of dogs this week. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna be on for those who enjoy my chalk play.
Give me the Cardinals plus 9.5, Kramer.
Cardinals plus 9.5, and I think this has to be put in the dog pile simply because the Texans are still a wild card, I believe, on offense a little bit. Defensive touchdown could sway it, though, like you said.
No, certainly that's obviously how they would get the cover in my mind.
All right, next up, what has been called a must-win game by Sean Green, the Philadelphia Eagles laying 11 points at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, minus 700 on the money line. Raiders plus 520. 38 is the total. Kenny Pickett revenge game. It's not a Kenny Pickett and Chip Kelly revenge game because he got
Chip
fired.
Kelly
already.
didn't make it,
but Kenny Pickett revenge spot. And will he be facing Jalen Hurts or Tanner McKee?
Let's see.
I wasn't able to lock that information down. Doesn't seem like they've commented on it yet.
Actually they did comment on it. Nick Sirianni said it was ridiculous, as I said on the show recap yesterday's show, and Kramer was highlighting people who are calling for Tanner McKee, which I think is ridiculous. Zach Berman, beat writer for the Eagles, I think nailed it, saying, quote, "I'm not suggesting Jalen Hurts should be treated like a Supreme Court justice, but I'd like to think 4 postseason bids, 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl MVP, and a track record of elite level play in the biggest moments should buy you some equity." I agree with Zach's take there. And I've been critical of Jalen Hurts. I don't think he has been playing winning football the past few games. He's in a bit of a slump with the offense in general. I think this is a good opportunity to right the ship. But so was Monday night against the Chargers. Hopefully they get Lane Johnson back. That would be big. And obviously Lane playing is huge. Getting the problem is, and if you listen to the prop show, I thought the offense did a lot of good things that just got wiped out by inopportune turnovers. And usually that's one of Jalen Hurts' strength is not turning the ball over. If Jalen Hurts turns the ball over 5 times again, 2 on 1 play, statistically seems improbable, but I think they would lose the game. I think he's going to bounce back and play a clean game. Now the problem is the Raiders are diabolical with these freakish covers that they figured out how to do. That being said,
Sean, does this not remind you of that Ravens game from last year?
Which one?
When the Ravens were like 0-2, and it's like there's no way they're going to lose to the Raiders here at home. Feels like that to me.
That was earlier in the season.
I understand that, but there was a desperation element that seemed impossible that the Raiders could win.
Well, Ravens were coming off a loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, but again, it was week 2. Easier to catch a team sleeping there. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot of reasons to take the Raiders. You don't want to lay 11 points the way this Eagles offense is going right now. I understand that, but I'll give me the Eagles one more time. I think the offense finally has a get right spot. I think they're able to turn over Kenny Pickett. And I like the linebacker play, the safety play against Brock Bowers. I think they're going to be all right. The Raiders offensive line is really bad. And we saw this Eagles defensive line dominate the Chargers offensive line. I think they can do the same thing to this Raiders offensive line. So it might not be pretty, but I do think the Eagles get the win. And they get the cover 24-10. I just don't see the Raiders able to put up many points.
I mean, is Lane Johnson going to go?
I think he's going to try.
Okay.
I would say if you're asking me today, Wednesday afternoon, is Lane Johnson playing? I would say yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's important as they don't generally win the game if he's not out there. But I mean, you're out of your mind. I understand how bad the Raiders have been, and I told myself last week I wasn't going to do this again, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to. You can't lay up 11 points with this Eagles offense in the current state that they're in.
That's fair.
That's. There's a number of games like this week, and it's in some ways, I feel fortunate we're not headed to Vegas this weekend, so I can limit my bad mistakes. But I'm taking the points with the Raiders. Not unlike the Cardinals, I am not identifying this as a money line.
Really? You don't think the Eagles could blow this game, Ryan?
Now that you mention it, I guess that's possible. I mean, for the sake of my feed and seeing those Soul Train memes, I would say that would be a great outcome. And for the sake that the Raiders are near the bottom of the league, and it would probably help the Giants' final draft position. I saw the Raiders have the best chance to get the number 1 overall pick based on their remaining schedule.
But I would say the Raiders are trying to win, and I don't know if I could say the same for the Giants.
Why are we talking about the Giants?
Oh, because you were talking draft position. Giants do hold the number 1 draft pick.
The Giants unfortunately are going to be trying to win some games. They're going to win a couple games down the stretch. That's just how it works. Yeah. That's those culture wins that they get in late December and early January.
Mendoza, they considering taking Mendoza?
If you didn't see it, one of the Giants beat reporters did suggest the Giants maybe should trade Dart and draft Mendoza.
I like that.
And man, did he get taken through the ringer by the other beat reporters. Just really destroyed him. So yeah, I guess we'll be on opposite sides of this one.
Okay.
You're going to be back east watching this game.
Yes.
Do you think? I mean, that's going to be tension's going to be high. If they start slow, I feel like this could be or maybe that's the reason they've been losing. A lot of variables changing this weekend, Sean. You got to be a little nervous.
What do you mean variables changing?
Oh, you're not watching in the normal location. You're traveling.
Has the normal location been working?
I don't know. I mean,
what are you talking about?
They've won 8 games.
I was at the game. The game they lost.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a lot of variables changing. That's all.
No idea what you're talking about.
Well, you're. What do you mean? You're not going to be in the same spot. You're going to be back on the East Coast.
Yeah. Classic mojo shift.
Okay. Game number 3 in the early window, Jets and Jags. Jags are laying 12.5 minus 700 on the money line. Jets plus 520. 42 is the total. The Jets underperformed the spread against the Dolphins last week by over 21 points. And now they are a dog of 12.5 points, Sean. This is a true close your eyes special because this is disgusting. There is a reasonable chance that we could be seeing Missouri's own Brady Cook once again. And he was not very good last week.
Yeah. Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor did not practice today.
Now I thought I got the sense.
Yeah, you said that Justin Fields wasn't playing as a coaching decision.
Well,
but it seems like he is dealing with a knee injury.
I jokingly said coaching decision because it's he was approached with we want you to be Taysom Hill on this team, and it apparently caused some friction. So I wonder if it's a product of he's not pushing himself through an injury like he normally would. Now it's an opportunity to start. This seems ridiculous. So I still kind of think. If Fields is at all able to play, how do you not play him over this Cook character? He was not very good.
That's why I think he's legitimately injured. I don't know. I don't know your take of that. If he could physically practice or play.
I think you're missing what I'm saying. I think he's injured. Yeah. I don't think he's pushing himself to come back for this team because they basically said we're never going to make you our starting quarterback. We want you to be this reserve.
But wouldn't he want to show that he can play quarterback?
I agree. I'm saying that's why I think he's going to play this week.
Oh, but then why is he not practicing?
I don't know. It's very weird. I don't think I didn't get the sense that it was that serious. They called it knee soreness. Sean, they called it soreness.
Yeah.
That just doesn't, I don't know. They're fucked. This is a great close your eyes special.
Yeah, no, Jets all the way. Close your eyes special. You're getting 12.5 points here. Jags have a nice look ahead spot to the Denver Broncos. And yeah, I know when Brady Cook came in there, he looked horrible, but maybe with a week of practice, I mean, I really hope it's someone who's going to be on the Jets.
I think Breece Hall might miss the game.
Yeah. This would be the biggest line of Trevor Lawrence's career. He's never been a favorite of 12.5. This is an awesome spot for the Jets. As crazy as it sounds. And I get it. The Jets defense didn't look particularly good against the Dolphins, but I think this is just a massive letdown spot for this Jags team. Jags are flying high, coming up against the Jets team with nothing to play. The Jets are the ones who are going to win some of these late games or some of these games late in the season and mess up their draft position. Because I see the Jets playing for Aaron Glenn.
I'll buy that. I just they don't. They're doing one of those like sneaky tanks where they play the quarterback that's not capable of winning a game in the National Football League.
No, they were playing Tyrod. They were not. No, trying I'm saying
to
now. Tank.
Now I'm saying now that we're here.
I think they were playing to win last week. I think they're playing to win this week.
I just don't think Cook can win the game. It has to be Fields.
Sure, but I think they're trying their hardest to win. I don't know if they'll come close to doing it, but 12.5 points is a lot against a Jags team that could be letting down. And I think the fact that they switched to Tyrod shows you that they were not trying to tank. They did not care about their draft position. They were trying to win the games.
So Justin Fields went from nothing to a little bit of soreness on a Wednesday to being out that weekend and now isn't practicing. I still think there's something suspicious going on. Yeah, and for what it's worth, if you buy the whatever soreness meant for Justin Fields, Breece Hall also quote a little soreness in his knee. So
Breece Hall's been running hard.
Yeah. I would say Breece Hall's 50-50. I guess Justin Fields isn't going to play then. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I want Justin Fields to play because 12.5 is a lot. Give me the Jets plus 12.5. Kramer also on the Jets. Kramer, no favorites. Hey,
what's happening?
Of course, we're brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi, you can trade anything, and I mean anything. Obviously, you can trade the NFL, you can trade college football, college basketball, the awards market, but you can also trade. I mean, the wacky stuff they have on here. Times Person of the Year. Do you know AI is the odds-on favorite according to Kalshi right now to win Person of the Year? What the hell is going on in this country, Ryan?
I mean, that you want to talk about a too cute.
You know what market they have is pretty fun. So they have the exact win totals market available up over on Kalshi. So the Dolphins. Let's say you think the Dolphins are going to win exactly 7 games, exactly 8. Same with the Rams, exactly 14, exactly 13. Kind of fun way to essentially correlate some money lines there. But Kalshi, there are so many markets, and the great part, available in all 50 states. That's right, available on all 50 states. Download the Kalshi app and use that promo code SGPN. Get $20 in your account. New traders get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna bet you picks, props, sides, totals. Rhythm has it all. And of course, if you're looking to get involved in the National Football League, hey, well, first off, start tracking your plays in Rhythm for a chance to win $1,000 each week. And if you're going to get the Rhythm Pro, of course, use our promo code SGPN25, get you 25% off. Rhythm's awesome. Obviously, you can build your own models, start crushing it, or you want to just start tailing Rhythm, you can do that as well. We got a good matchup later on. We're going to be breaking down Pats Bills. One of the props out there, Kayshon Boutte, over 31.5 receiving yards. Rhythm likes it. I like it. I think that number is way too low against this Bills secondary. Drake May could be slinging it here a little bit. Kayshon Boutte, over 31.5 receiving yards. Of course, start building your own winners with Rhythm today. That's RITHMM. Promo code SGPN25.
Boutte. I mean, that's a pretty good name. Pretty good sports name. All right. Moving over to game 4 in the early window, the Browns and the Bears. There was reports that this game could be experiencing below freezing temperatures, Sean, and could even bump up against the coldest game in Soldier Field history.
That's insane.
Bears laying 7.5, minus 370 on the money line. Browns plus 305. 39 is the total. I think at this point, Caleb has shown us enough in the cold, and we know Shador went to Boulder, so there's no issue there in terms of quarterback softness. Bears coming off a little bit of a letdown of a loss, I'd imagine, getting kicked from the 1 seed all the way down to the 7 seed. Meanwhile, Shador, of course, coming off of a game that I'm sure he doesn't even know that he lost the game because his stats were amazing. He was able to put all sorts of great Instagram posts on social.
I thought Shedeur played well. The reason the Browns lost was they couldn't stop the run, and which is very weird. Like the Browns defense let them down in that game. As much as it's fun to hate on Shedeur, I thought Shedeur played a very good game. Hit some nice throws, put up some points, moved the ball with the offense against like whatever Titans defense. I thought he played well.
Yeah, I thought upon consuming some of the data from some of the film bros and looking at some of the stats and the tremendous amount of yak, and I would quantify it as I think he made. I agree with you. I think he made some good throws.
Yeah, I mean the Jerry Jeudy had a bunch of yak because Shedeur had a great throw.
Thought he had
hit him in stride.
Thought he had some good throws and thought he limited the really bad stuff.
Yeah, he
had some of
that
it.
One backup chuck it up interception was horrible. Now the interesting thing here, Ryan, is the sandwich spot, both for the Bears, and the Packers, because Bears just lost obviously to the Packers in Lambeau, but now they got this team against the Browns, which they're obviously favored by 7.5. But then they have the Packers next week, so this is
a joke. These scheduling spots don't need to exist.
Yeah,
you're creating an imbalance for no reason. Like obviously this game is a notable letdown spot. Now you look, the Bears are also the 7th seed. They need to win the game.
Yeah. But on the other side too, like the Browns offensive line, they're missing more guys. They just lost their center, Conklin. I don't know if he'll be back.
That's the bigger story, because I think in general, the way Shedeur plays kind of like, I think he's so used to playing with a shit offensive line in college. That's where a lot of his bad habits come from. It's just the need to survive, because he was always having to run for his life. And so in a weird way, I don't think you downgrade it as much, but the potential for super negative plays still exists. And Sean, up until last week, we were saying, wow, how opportunistic has this defense been?
Yeah, no, Bears defense. And they did get an interception against Jordan Love. They've been good overall at generating, and the Browns defense, right? Like the Browns defense minus last game have been really good at home. Their home road splits for the Browns defense is almost a full yard per play. So I think there is a case to be made here for the Browns because of the situation spot, but
no, I think the situation, the Bears. You're right to say the situation spot is the only thing that I think would make sense, but I'm also on the Bears. I think, obviously a great teaser leg, but I think this ends up being one of these insanely, 15 to 6, something like that. I think this could end up being a fairly low scoring game, especially if it's going to be that cold. Will be a fun watch. And last thing to note, the Tennessee's defense is horrible. The secondary is horrible, and that was the goodness of Shedeur, I think, was aided by that. I think even going to Chicago, which hasn't been an elite secondary, it's still going to be a bit of an upgrade. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, ultimately, I think the Bears can win this turnover battle by 1 or 2, and that's gonna go a long way.
That's all that matters. If they win the turnover battle, they cover this number.
Yeah,
I would make
OG in the chat saying he's going to be boots on the ground at this cold ass game. Wish me luck.
Oh,
hashtag bear down.
It makes you send in send in a weather report before 9 a.m. Pacific so we can discuss it on the pregame show. Thank you. All right, Sean. As we move along, so we've only disagreed on the Eagles game
so far. Game
5, Buffalo, New England, probably the game of the window. Patriots are a pick at home. This actually opened Buffalo as the favorite. It's been bet into a pick. 49.5 is the total. I think the first game didn't feel like a fluky outcome, and the Bills have provided just about every team they've played with moments of feeling like, well, we can beat you.
Yeah. But then Josh Allen puts on that cape, Ryan.
Well, he is to that point where it's like, if it comes down to it, do you really want to bet against Josh Allen, even though it's on the road, even though it's a fairly obvious spot where you're like, well, feels like we're just giving the Bills some love in the market for no reason.
Well,
they were so close to losing that game against the Bengals. If Joe Burrow doesn't shot put the ball,
it slipped right out of his hands.
What is the point? What is the point spread? This was 1.5 on the look ahead. All the way back in the summer, it was 4.5. Obviously, some things have changed, but I understand. I understand why people bet the Patriots, but I also understand why it was opened at 1.5.
Well, and I think the case for the Bills is revenge, right? These are two good teams in the AFC East. One of the Pats to beat them both. Now the Pats are coming off a bye. If you look at historically, Vrabel has been very strong off the bye, 6-1 straight up ATS.
And late buys are also even stronger historically. Teams coming off late buys, the benefit is greater.
Now, I mean, Will Campbell still being out for the Pats, I think is interesting, and certainly throws a little wrench here, a little monkey wrench in the handicap. And I don't know. To me, it's like, man.
Well, the money splits?
Patriots didn't look particular. I know they won by 18, but they didn't look dominant against the Giants.
That was also not making excuses, but that was also a strangely bad game for the Giants. Like, it was the first time where Kafka looked like he had no plan. The defense was.
They didn't look
awful.
particularly good against the Falcons at home.
Yeah, I mean, again, what's happening here is that I think the flaws of Drake May. We're just waiting for the flaws of Drake May to come out, which is he holds the ball. And he's willing to make turnover worthy plays or be inaccurate with the ball at times, or take a bad sack, missing the left tackle another game. Like that's the argument for. The other argument for is just like horseshoe in ass stuff that Josh Allen plans on doing in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Buffalo because I like Dick Puncher's point, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. The Bills are the more desperate team. The Bills are fighting for their lives. And I think that could make the difference here. So yeah, give me Buffalo. I totally understand the case for New England. Kramer, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm taking Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
But it feels like it feels like this is the first one where I'm kind of
where are your betting splits, right?
It's 50-50.
Okay.
I mean, if it's 50-50 at the Green Book at circa 67% of the tickets on the Bills. But only 43% of the money. So that's why I say I believe taking the Bills might be the donkey side. But give me Josh Allen in the. I don't think we plan on having any games that are going to get crushed by weather. But
it's a baby fucking wheel, man.
We do have a couple games where it's going to be cold, and this is one of them. So 10-mile-an-hour winds and maybe some snow, which didn't seem to bother Josh last week.
Yeah, give me the Bills.
And we talked about this briefly, but do you have thoughts on betting the Josh Allen MVP right now?
Well, certainly if you like Josh Allen, bet this game right. Bet it now, because part of him winning MVP would him having a massive game here.
He's 14-1. It certainly doesn't feel like he's dead. For context, Jordan Love 12-1, Drake May plus 210. Matthew Stafford minus 180. If Josh Allen wins this game, does he not overtake Drake May in this market?
Definitely Drake May. The problem is, what is Stafford numbers wise going to do at home against the Lions defense? So you would need Stafford to not look good at home against the Lions. You'd need Seattle to beat Stafford in that Thursday night game, which is certainly possible.
Stafford, I guess it's tough too, because they have a 2-game lead in the conference.
And do they have a 2-game lead?
I believe so.
No, because they're not even up 2 games on Seattle. In the
I'm sorry. What am I talking about? Yeah, so that's how it works right there. That's the answer.
Yeah,
to the
you need
question.
Seattle to knock them off on Thursday, but also the problem is Stafford's numbers are so gaudy. It's going to be a tough case not to give it to him.
Yeah, just seems like Josh Allen is so much sexier of a pick.
Yeah, but I think they would like Matt Stafford's never won a regular season MVP, correct?
Yeah, and back-to-back thing? Do they want?
Yeah, Josh Allen. I think to win back-to-back, you really have to do something crazy. And I think Stafford, if this Rams team gets a 1 seed, I think he's going to be a tough out for not getting it.
Sam Darnold's 100-1. Any chance he could, if he overtakes?
No. Sam Darnold.
So that's big. It's a big number. It's a big number. I'm just bringing it up.
Sure.
Big number.
Sure.
Caleb Williams 150-1.
No.
Okay.
Jordan Love. I see Dick Puncher, Packers fan, making a case for
12-1. Well.
Yeah, I mean
the
it's
flawed
metric
like, known as EPA does like Jordan Love.
So Jordan Love, the path is similar, right? He's got to go on a run here, get the 1 seed. The problem is you got to get past Green Bay. You have to beat out Rams and Seattle probably. You have a tough game this week against the Broncos.
They have the tie,
which could hurt or help you.
Well, right now they're a half game back.
Yeah. So,
but if they run out. And all they need is the Rams and Seahawks to lose 1 game. They are the 1 seed. I'll have to do some price. Actually, what am I talking about? There's a 0% chance I'm putting.
Yeah, you're not getting. You're not hopping on Jordan Love MVP, right?
Let's move on. This is ridiculous. I got tricked into. Dick Puncher tricked us into talking about his precious Jordan Love. Game 6, Ravens Bengals. Ravens laying 2.5 on the road in Cincinnati. -145 on the money line. Bengals +125. 51.5 is the total. I mean, in some ways, we just watched this game. I always bitch and moan about how these 2 division games in 3 weeks should not be allowed by the schedule maker. It's just unnecessary, and it seems like they go out of their way to do it. Have a block of games, a 3-week block early in the season, a 3-week block later in the season. That's when you play all the division games. Who's complaining? No one. Or make it like college. Last weeks 13 through 17, all division games, and the rest of the you play them all. Then you'd have to figure out you'd play 2 games in 4 weeks, but
last 4 games being division games would be fine.
Yeah, I think them throwing in the rando game in there is just like what I mean. It's obviously because they want some flexibility around Christmas, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, didn't we just watched this game? Lamar is just officially not practicing on Wednesdays and sometimes not practicing on Thursdays for the rest of the season. It does seem like there's a legitimate shot that Harbaugh gets fired at the end of the season if they miss the playoffs. This Ravens team is just not right. I don't know how you can grade them as a road favorite. I get maybe they have a revenge aspect against this Bengals team, but the Bengals, first off, again, going back to Joe Burrow as a dog, I'm always going to be on Joe Burrow as a dog. 21-11 ATS as a dog. If it gets to 3 points or more, it's crazy. It's like 19-3 ATS. It was 18-3 ATS before last week. And Joe Burrow off a loss, 19-9 ATS. And if it wasn't for that ball that slipped out of his hand, man, the offense just seems kind of unstoppable. And I felt super confident they were going to go down, or pretty good, and go down and get that back door to against the Bills defense that is. What's up with this Ravens defense? Aaron Rodgers looked like prime Aaron Rodgers carving up this defense. Like they let up 29 points to this Steelers offense, which has not looked right for most of the year at home. And now you're going on the road as a road favorite. Now, certainly you like Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews props because the tight ends always do well against the Bengals. But other than that, and if you want to talk yourself into the division rematch idea, sure. But I just don't understand how the Ravens could be considered road favorites against anyone. I understand Bengals defense still has their issues, but they seem to come up in spots and they seem to know how to play Lamar Jackson. Per Unpredictable, the Ravens are power rated ahead of the Niners, Broncos, Patriots, Chargers, Jaguars, Cowboys, Bears, and of course Bengals. It's just, we talked about this last week with the Bears and how the market has been slow to catch up to upgrade them. And, the Ravens were the other side of that example. The market just refuses to downgrade the Ravens.
Yeah. I don't get it.
So yeah, I think this is, and worth noting, we don't always talk about it, but of course we all know, we learn, if you attended orientation in the summer, you learn that you take the 2.5 and you lay the 3.5. So we're taking the 2.5 here.
Bengals. Ryan, this is a great spot to use the Bengals in the teaser. Use a 6-point Wong teaser. Shout out to our Patreon, the Tuck Jobs. Get your Tuck Jobs over at Tucker Football.
Tuck, yeah. I mean, you like a good tuck job.
I'm busting on my boy Ross Tucker. Very
wow,
fun show. I just, you know what it is, Ryan.
People got defensive last time when
I came after the Tuck Jobs.
Well, we talked about his wife being in the door, the window.
That was you, Ryan. That was you. You went above and beyond with our. Well, I'm just trying out the new shower my boys over at West Shore Home installed, and it's a great roomy shower. Great for
put the new door on while the wife was in the shower.
After going on 80-10 best bets record. Of course, a lot of those are 6-point teaser legs that didn't end up hitting. But if you if you grade individual teaser legs as best bets, sure, that your best bets record looks a little better.
It's so funny how all right, so the idea of I'm gonna expose something to the audience. So anyone listening right now is gonna get the idea of us giving out a teaser is to essentially make fun of the idea that people love giving out a teaser leg because it's the easier way. It's an easier way to like a game than like it actually on the spread.
Actually have an opinion.
And so us including a teaser in our main bets for the show was kind of this ultimate pun on touts. And to see now the industry go even harder into teasers as teasers have become harder to actually
get profitable.
It's just like so funny because they all give out teasers. I like this on a teaser.
It's a great teaser leg. Bengals are a great teaser leg.
No, they are.
All jokes aside, right?
Actually, I don't know. I feel like these games have high volatility. If we expect this to be a high scoring game, I would expect, maybe we like it better on the pleaser than on the teaser, Sean.
Wow.
Well, we do. I think this is going to pop on the pleaser segment this week on VSiN. Game number 7 in the early window. We got another, a lot of division matchups this week. We got the Chargers, Justin Herbert coming off that win where he got sassy with Laura Rutledge. Didn't want to do the post game interview. How despicable. He doesn't want to shut up. Chargers, Harbaugh, Herbert head into Kansas City where they take on a wounded animal in the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid promised he would be tickling tonsils, and he didn't in game 1. So hopefully he tries a little harder in game 2. Chiefs laying 4.5 points, Sean. We're going to have to talk about why the number is where the number is. -225 on the money line. Chargers +195. 41.5 is the total.
Yeah. Chargers offensive line really banged up. Obviously they got lit up Monday, still got the win. Got some turnovers and shout out to the Chargers. Did a good job turning the ball over, did a good job getting the win. But I mean, again, anemic passing offense. Justin Herbert, 139 passing yards.
Isn't that more about the Eagles defense?
Well, he had 81 passing yards against the Jags.
Maybe the Jags have a good defense too.
Justin Herbert and the passing offense. Now, a lot of it, again, you could never criticize Justin Herbert, but 139, 151, 8. He had 151 against the Raiders.
Criticize Justin Herbert, Sean. I give you permission.
No, I think he's solid, but I don't think he's certainly not elite. No quarterback in my mind is elite until they win a playoff game. You can't even be in the conversation. And interceptions continue to be an issue with Justin Herbert. And just look at, any sort of stats really. And if you want to make an excuse and say it's the offensive line, that's fine. But that same offensive line is going to Kansas City back against the wall. The Chargers played an overtime game on Monday, a very emotional game, as you could tell by Justin Herbert's reaction to Laura Rutledge. Harbaugh comparing the win to a birth of his child, and it's a revenge spot for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs lost that opening night game where Xavier Worthy got knocked out. Of course, was on 100 yards with CJ. Xavier Worthy. Oh, no. I'm just laughing because CJ was like, "Hey, Xavier Worthy's 3-1 to get 100 yards." I'm like, Rashi Rice was out. I'm like, I love it. Let's go. And then CJ was meeting me over at the Circa, and like CJ missed maybe like the first 4 plays. And I go, "Oh, did you see what happened to Xavier Worthy?" He's like, "No, what happened?" He was walking over to meet us there. I go, "Oh, he got knocked out of the game." So
you can't make that shit
and
up.
Circa's not one of these Fugazi void books, so it was a legit L. But love the Chiefs here. Lay the 4.5. Yep.
So I mean, what you said about, are you not worried about the Chiefs' offensive line?
Sure. No, that's
equally banged up. The tackles are decimated.
Certainly fair. Certainly all that you said is that I said about the Chargers offensive line applies to the Chiefs offensive line. I will go with the better quarterback and the more desperate team at home. And 1, the situation spot is better for the Chiefs. 2, they are the more desperate team. 3, they're at home. That to me is the handicap. Now, the case with the Chargers, Herbert has been good as a dog, especially a dog of this much. And
I just think it's a field goal game.
Okay. Yeah, that's that's a fair counter, but
that will be my official counter. It's a field goal game. Give me the Chargers.
Kramer on the Chargers.
I think I started the handicap on the Chargers, and as I was listening to you, I was like, then I remembered. No, the whole reason I think the Chargers are.
You're just mad because they let you down in what you thought was the desperate spot at home against the Texans. You were sitting there. You had your Kelsey jersey on. You're a Swiftie at heart, and you were really disappointed. Ryan, this is
zero integrity. I do not have a Kelsey jersey.
This is the time that the Chiefs' back is really against the wall.
No. And I'll be watching this game with Justin Decker, and you won't be around, so no need to create any sort of friction.
Wow. Decker knows this is a losable game for them.
No. Decker, he's going to
be watching his Colts. He's a Colts fan now. Philip Rivers. I texted him. I go, "Oh man,
he's so excited.
He's so worried because the Colts are still alive for the wild card, and they're going against the Chargers in the wild card. Philip Rivers knocking the Chargers out of the wild card is a nightmare situation for Decker.
That is the ultimate.
He would just be stoked that Philip Rivers gets to see one more playoff and potentially a chance at the Super Bowl. Remember when that story came out about the 49ers? If they would have beat the Eagles, that they lost all their quarterbacks, they were going to sign Philip Rivers, and Decker was so excited because there was a chance Rivers was going to win a Super Bowl.
Now I do plan on reminding him that this now resets his Hall of Fame clock.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to watch Eli go in first, and that's going to be a tough day for him. It will be fun to. I didn't even consider the Philip Rivers aspect of him watching football this Sunday. He's going to be
locked in, right?
That is going to be something. All right. Last game in the early window and the third close your eyes special.
So Ryan, Commanders close your eyes special.
Washington,
automatically put you down for Washington.
Washington Commander Redskin football team. Of course, underperformed the spread last week somehow against JJ McCarthy, aka 9. Even though his numbers, upon further review, looking at the box score, it makes that game even more ridiculous. Washington lost Ertz. It sounds like Jaden Daniels may or may not play again this season, but not this week. Commanders are catching 2 points on the road in New York against Jackson Dart and the New York Football Giants, who just saw Cam Scadaboo walk into the facilities under his own power. Guy's a maniac. Minus 130 on the money line for the Giants, plus 110 for the Commanders. 47 is the total. Now,
Ryan, what is this? I had to check and see if this is Wes Steinberg reporting, but
what do we have here?
The Giants fired assistant defensive line coach Brian Cox during the bye week. The final straw was his reaction to this seating arrangement being changed on the flight home from the Patriots game when assistant coaches were moved from the front of the plane to the back. Is that a real story?
I have no reason to think it's not a real story.
Okay.
But I think that's not the real reason. I think he dissented when it was chosen, like when they chose Bolin to be the defensive coordinator or the play caller after they fired Bowen. I think Cox, who apparently has a history of being outspoken, basically was pissed off that they didn't pick one of the two guys that had already done it before. Now, whatever story that comes with it, who knows? But yeah, like I said, the last game, the coaching staff kind of all over the place, makes you wonder if, I liked a little bit more aggression from the defense. I don't think they were any better. I think Kafka, that was the first game where it's like, well, yeah, he's not a head coach.
They were not playing to win against the Patriots.
I thought it was I thought on both sides of the ball, their game plans got.
Well, not even
defeated.
To me, it wasn't even the game plan. Like punting when they were punting, to me, that was not playing to win the game. And then Jackson Dart is obviously regressing, and we saw like after he got lit up, he didn't run as much. We'll see if he decides to run here. I don't think. How can you make a team that's actively trying to tank a favorite? Giants always struggle at home. The Commanders have owned them the past 3 games. Giants always lose to the Commanders.
That's not true. They never lose to the Commanders.
The last 3 games they've lost.
Never lose to the Commanders.
This is crazy that the Giants are favored.
Commanders are.
In what world should the Giants be power rated higher than the Redskins?
The Commanders are 0-2 as a close your eyes special.
This year. That is true, which means they're incredibly due. They're not going to go 0-3 against a close your eyes special, right? This is a smash spot for Washington.
Rock meets hard place, but if it comes down to it, going to church or realizing that the Giants never lose to the Commanders, give me the Giants.
Is there any actual reasons why you like the Giants?
I think Jackson Dart's trying to win the game. I think.
Right, but isn't he trying to win all these games?
I think they're going to be able to run the ball. They've committed to the run, and in those games, I think they're gonna. They've been in these games. I think the Commanders are just as capable as of losing the game as the Giants.
It's fair, but they just got embarrassed by JJ McCarthy.
I mean, look, I don't have a huge. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good close your eyes special. I should probably take it.
Yes. No, so you're being a homer instead of an objective handicapper.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes a sin is needed to remind yourself of the faith. And so I'll take Jackson Dart. If I'm going to sin with anyone, it's going to be with Jackson Dart. I cannot wait. Can't wait to.
If Jackson Dart loses to the Commanders, does that impact your view on him at all? As a
wins and losses at this stage don't like. I'm kind of in the camp of wins aren't necessarily important. I've said this before. Rookie wins not important.
Seems like he's right in the right place. Wins aren't important.
Rookie wins not important, but you got to play well.
Will wins be important next year?
I told you they're going to accidentally win a couple games. Oh yeah, next year they're going to be great. I mean, they got Malik Neighbors coming back.
Oh yeah, off the ACL.
They got a new coach.
Who's their coach?
It seems like Shula is in the mix. The Halfley name keeps popping back up from the Packers, which I don't know how I feel about that. Marcus Freeman, which
hey, who better to guide you on missed playoffs than the Notre Dame head coach?
Oh wow, that's a good one. That's
you want a coach who knows how to miss the playoffs. Bring in Marcus Freeman.
Well, there's no ambiguity in the NFL playoffs,
and also just opting out. That's Giants culture right there.
That was the AD. We talked about that earlier.
That was
on
Marcus Freeman
on the college basketball.
You're just already in damage control of Marcus Freeman.
He was asked about his name being up for NFL jobs, and he did not say I'm staying at Notre Dame.
Yeah, because he's going to be the Giants head coach.
We'll see. I haven't seen any. I think he's certainly in the mix. We talked about it when he was in New York to do some CBS stuff. He obviously probably swung by the facilities, say what's up. I think he's in the mix. I would say he probably is in my top 5. He has leadership qualities.
Okay.
Game number 1 in the late window. And I don't know if this was just, I checked a couple sources, but it seems like all the games start late this week for whatever reason, Sean. 125 kick on the West Coast. The Colts head to Seattle where they're taking on the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a massive 2-touchdown, 14-point favorite, -1,000 on the money line. Colts +675, 42.5 is the total. We were starting to have this conversation, but like, how many points is Daniel Jones to Phillip Rivers, knowing that Daniel Jones was playing on a broken leg? Because the look ahead for this game was 3.5.
Yeah, I mean that's tough because I would have made the look ahead 6, but again, obviously I was way more down on Daniel Jones and his broken leg than the market.
Yes, you had already downgraded him way more than the market.
Yes, Ryan, this is a nice little piece of trivia. Colts quarterbacks since they had Phillip Rivers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 quarterbacks, and obviously Jones is one of them. So we'll say 7. How many of those can you name?
Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
Daniel Jones, obviously.
Yes.
Riley Leonard. Or to start a game?
Starting.
Let's see. Who else? Jacoby Brissett. Was he in there? Oh, interesting. There's a whole Matt Ryan. I already said Matt Ryan. There's a whole block. There's a year or two that I'm completely missing on.
There's some funny names in here.
Who's the kid from Texas that started a couple games?
Sam Ellinger.
Sam Ellinger. That's all I got.
Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah.
Matt Ryan. Sam Ellinger. Nick Foles. Gardner Minshew. Anthony Richardson.
Gardner Minshew.
Joe Flacco, and then Daniel Jones.
I did forget about Joe Flacco.
This is it'll be interesting. I don't think the Colts do play them, but if somehow the Colts ended up playing the Bengals in the playoffs, which again, the Bengals odds of winning the division still crazy, but they still kind of have a shot. He was talking a ton of shit on Joe Burrow. It was really funny. He doesn't like his hair. Said he should be a receiver if he's going to be walking around in a fur coat. Doesn't look like a quarterback with his fancy hair. It was very funny. He was very angry about it. But this is interesting because Rivers, Ryan, as you've been talking about, he ran the same offense as the Colts run. He's coaching his son's high school team, and they were running the same offense. And then he also reportedly had weekly film sessions with Shane Steichen. So obviously Shane Steichen, and he's older than Shane Steichen. So, and he's older than actually 12 current head coaches. So
there are I believe that there's at least one player on the roster who is younger than his kid, like younger than could be one. Obviously, could be one.
Yeah,
of
his center I think was, when his center he's like 25 years older than his center. It's crazy.
Is this a player safety situation that we're dealing with here? Because
it's weird. There's two ways to look at it. One, I look and I think, well, we see Kirk Cousins who had similar mobility issues as Phillip Rivers, and Kirk Cousins hasn't looked that great. Although I am taking him plus 4.5. But at least Kirk Cousins a little younger. He's at least stayed in the league. He was in at training camp. I mean,
he's in football shape.
I think Phillip Rivers can still throw the football. You do have Jonathan Taylor, but you're going up against the toughest defense in the NFL.
I mean, you want to talk about a terrifying. So Phillip Rivers is 44.
Yeah, he's a grandpa.
Kirk Cousins is 37.
Yeah, no, there's a big difference.
And again, he's in that football. He's in that playing shape. So, but real quick, back to the reason why he's the one they signed. So obviously, I don't think Rippon's been with the team very long on the practice squad. Riley Leonard bangs up his knee after Daniel Jones tears his ACL. And the first breadcrumb was JJ Watt, who shared something who turning into a great journalist, and including having great journalist hair. He shared that in the production meetings, he found out that essentially Shane Steichen needed someone that could operate the offense, knew that Phillip Rivers, who he had been meeting with on a weekly cadence to review film, because Phillip Rivers was running the same offense that he and Shane Steichen had run components of back when they were on the Chargers together. Shane Steichen was his OC, I believe, or quarterbacks coach when Phillip Rivers was a player. And Phillip Rivers was running that offense with his kid, who had some pretty gaudy numbers, by the way, Sean. And so you read about this connection. You're like, that makes a lot of sense. Then you dig a little deeper, and there's mention of it where like it sounds like they were doing more than just meeting for like 30 minutes a week. It sounds like they were having like legit film sessions, and like they were just and it sounds like Rivers had been giving feedback about the Colts as well.
Yeah,
and so then it was raised as a joke if Phillip Rivers would come back, and apparently he loves his family so much that he's like, hell yeah, hell yeah, and so. All of that being said, he hasn't played in 5 years, Sean.
Yeah.
We went back, we looked at that win-loss record in that last year, 11-5. But then you go watch some of the highlights. And did you, I don't know if you went back and watched any, but it immediately made me remember. It was just hospital ball after hospital ball. He lacked the zip on the ball back then, Sean.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks fall off quickly.
5 years later, he's got it.
They fall off quickly. The only negative thing the Colts have said through this entire process is they're a little worried about his conditioning to play quarterback.
Well,
this is a disaster spot. It's not a close your eyes special, by the way. The Colts fell a little short of that last week. I believe they only covered by 19.5.
But this is what gets interesting, because Seattle has a look ahead spot.
I know,
to the Rams on Thursday night. They don't care about this non-conference Colts team. And the crazy part about this is the comeback player of the year odds. It's all of a sudden, again, one of the one award market ever since DeMar Hamlin came back from the dead and didn't win the award. I'm off of it.
No, I don't play that shit.
Because guys like him come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he was like down to 12-1. The Colts schedule is insane. It's at Seattle, 49ers at home, Jags at home, Texans at home. So for him to win that, he has to win these games. Just take Indy on the money line all 4 games. You'll get a better payout.
There's zero.
That being said, I would not suggest doing either, but. Now the problem is this is 14 points, and I think the thing that's hanging in the background is I think Phillip Rivers has a pretty short leash. Riley Leonard was a full participant in practice, so Riley Leonard coming in, scrambling around, running like he did a ton of when he played at Notre Dame. I mean, you remember that first drive in the national championship? He ran it every single damn play. Him running around on a Seattle team that's up 24 and them handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Like, there are some players on this Colts team. It's
what do you think the chances are that he plays, that he ends up playing the entire game?
I'd say 70% chance.
And if he plays, if we get Riley Leonard, we love this number. Right?
If this was Riley Leonard at 14 points, because Seattle has the look ahead, because the Colts are a desperate team, because the Colts have some skill guys that are okay. Now Seattle has done a good job as a big favorite. I just think, how could Seattle not be looking ahead to that Rams game? The Rams Thursday night game is like their entire season. Now you have a Colts team that's back against the wall, coming off a bad loss. Maybe a little mojo. I'm going entertainment as well. I'm taking the Colts.
It's 2 touchdowns, and
when in doubt, you got to take 14 points. And who knows? Maybe it gets wild.
Well, the Seahawks have been dominating people, so there is that element.
Yeah, but yeah, Rivers is impossible to handicap. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be great, but 14 points is just way too much. And there's a chance we see some Riley Leonard.
I'll expand on that. So it sounds like, quote, so one of the beat reporters said basically we were very surprised to see Riley Leonard out there. Shane Steichen later said that, or before practice said that the Riley we avoided something bigger with Riley Leonard. He'll be out there today. He's feeling good. On whether or not he's going to play, we'll see how the week goes.
But he was a full participant.
Well, no, but so he says we'll see how the week goes, but he's going to be out there taking the reps today. And then when he asked the same question about Rivers, we're going to see how the week goes, and we'll make a decision at the end of the week, probably. So, I mean, remember, we'll find out because Rivers has to be activated from the practice squad.
Yeah.
And so they have to do that by Saturday.
So he's 100% going to be activated.
Probably.
Yeah. I would say 100%.
Probably.
Why do you always like to go probably?
I mean,
so you don't think he is going to be activated? Then why did we talk about him starting?
Well, because I think everyone's talking about him starting.
Oh, okay.
I think there's plenty.
Who do you think's going to start?
I mean, I'm a little surprised at Riley Leonard being fine. The post game report was like week to week.
Yeah.
And so the idea that whatever they scanned and found came back completely different, that's interesting. And like I think Shane Steichen was on the podium probably like maybe a couple hours ago. So very new news as well. But yeah, I mean, I think we're both probably right. I think Phillip Rivers ends up being active. I wonder if he's not the starter though. And if he's not the starter, my God, this is a great number.
And Damien in the chat saying, was anyone else like a true sicko like myself and look for Rivers anytime for a tush push at 45? I know real degen activity.
You know I'm a degenerate.
He has 3 career rushing touchdowns. Last one, Ryan, guess the year.
I mean, I was gonna guess 2020.
Oh no, come on.
2012.
No, keep going.
Really? 2008.
He has 3 career ones.
2008.
2011. October 9, 2011 is the last time I have listed as a rushing touchdown.
They have Tyler Warren. He'll run the tush push.
That's actually a good point. That he could see some.
There's no way they're gonna run a fucking QB sneak with
Tyler Warren anytime. Probably a decent value because they're such big dogs. The anytime touchdown is going to be jacked up a little bit, but also Jonathan Taylor is just going to get a shit ton of carries.
You would think. I mean, I think it's what I said earlier. Like it's him and Leonard get a shit ton of carries, right? Like why would you not just, if Leonard's healthy? I mean, you don't care about longevity there. He's a 6th round pick.
Run him into the ground.
You say, whatever, 60 minutes for the next 60 years.
Run that Notre Dame offense that they ran that first drive. So give me the Colts plus 14. Kramer also on the Colts plus 14.
And for the record, we don't have a Riley Leonard anytime, but Phillip Rivers anytime touchdown is 25 to 1.
That's a bad price.
It's not long enough, right?
I need 100 to 1. Honestly,
I don't think it's
maybe 50 to 1.
Yeah, at least 50.
Entertainment purposes only.
Green Bay game number 2 in the late window, 125 kick here on the West Coast. Green Bay heads to Denver to take on the Broncos. Bo Nix and the Broncos are 2.5 point home dogs, plus 125 on the money line. Packers minus 145. 43.5 is the total. This is definitely the number that stood out to me as I feel like I'm not generally high on the Broncos, but I don't quite understand this. I guess the Packers have risen back to early season post Micah Parsons trade favorites to win it all, because they're getting a ton of respect here in this spot. And but say what you will about Bo Nix and what the analytics tell you, they're operating this offense well enough to pair with this defense, and they've been getting the job done.
Yeah, no, I mean the Broncos play up or down to their competition. That's why they're kind of a tough team to pick sometimes. ATS, right? Because and again, the Raiders game, they were up 24. I mean, they were up 24-7 with 2:12 left. And then again, the Raiders with an insane backdoor there, that even just how that all played out.
But that was also the Broncos laying a big number. Sean Payton and Bo Nix laying a big number, not catching points at home.
No. And again, look at the last time they played a quality team at home catching points. You got to go back to the game against the Chiefs. They won outright 22-19. I don't think you can make this Broncos team a dog at home. And especially when you look at the situation spot for the Packers. In what world should the Packers be road favorites? They just had a massive win at home against a divisional opponent in the Bears. It was a very physical game. Meanwhile, the Broncos cruised in that Raiders game. Now they're back home. They have extra motivation because they're being labeled as a dog here at home. I think they're going to play up in I think they're going to play up to the competition here. The Broncos offensive line, I think, can do a decent job against this Packers front seven. And I like I like the Broncos secondary. I know Jordan Love has been looking good. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, they've been playing really well. But and Dick Puncher pointing out the NFC 2 seed versus the AFC 1 seed potential Super Bowl matchup. This does kind of show you where the market is. If you're looking to our buddy Ross and Fezzik were talking about this, that the NFC right now is like a 2.5 point favorite in the Super Bowl. This certainly shows you that the fact that they have the Packers this big of that they have them a road favorite against the number one seeded team in the AFC is certainly pretty telling. I think as far as power rating, it would be tough to imagine right now a world where the NFC team isn't favored against one of these AFC teams, unless we get kind of a surprise team out of one of these teams. But I don't really play those markets, but interesting to note.
The aggregate top 3 teams are all NFC teams.
Yeah.
Top AFC team is Sean.
Top AFC team.
Aggregate power rating. Kansas City Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so the market still loves the Chiefs. That being said, you can't make the Broncos a home dog. That's kind of insulting from what they've shown here. So yeah, give me the Broncos plus 2.5.
The market's very high on the Packers. They're third, and I think, I think we discussed it earlier with the double sandwich spot with the Bears and the Packers. But there's also a sandwich element to this, and yeah, I think I'll be curious to see what this team looks like with Surtain taking Christian Watson away. I think that's an interesting component here, and just Jordan Love against it being tested like this. Stay tuned for the prop show, but guess who's going to be betting on Jordan Love interception in this game?
No, not you, Ryan.
This guy. All right,
give me the Broncos plus 2.5.
Is this the second leg to our teaser?
Great teaser leg.
Bears, Bengals, and Broncos. I might have already done the teaser segment, Sean. All right, game number 3 in the late window. This is sneaky interesting. I don't think before the year we thought Panthers Saints was going to be a
playoffs on the line.
Playoffs on the line game. Panthers laying 2.5 on the road, minus 148 on the money line. Saints plus 128. 40.5 is the total. Of course, we know that the Panthers are looking ahead to playing the Bucs two times in the next 3 weeks. And this suddenly became like a look past spot. I suddenly, after watching Tyler Shuck ball out, I'm wondering if the Panthers are going to trip up in the same exact way as the Bucs did against this Saints team.
Now the problem is I would love this if the Saints were coming off a win. I still like it for the Saints because again, you can't take the Panthers as favorites. You just can't.
Not road favorites.
They haven't won or covered a spread in a game where they were favored since September of 2021. And you remember, Ryan, one of Shuck's good games was at Carolina when they went into Carolina and beat them. Now, certainly it makes sense. The revenge. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for the Saints. You can make good cases for the Panthers, but also this Panthers team, as comical as it is, they're in every other game. Like they going into that bye week, they were dumping the Gatorade. They beat the Rams outright. Now they're going to have a letdown spot against the Saints. And then the next week they're going to have a huge win. This is kind of just how this Panthers team is. I mean, we can look at the matchups, but Bryce Young is a road favorite. No, thank you. And Tyler Shuck is just playing fast and loose. Kellen Moore, I think, is doing a solid enough coaching job considering the talent they have. And I think the Saints defensive line, now some of that was probably worse not being out there. And some of it was Baker being banged up, but the Saints D line got some pressure. So I think I just cannot take the Panthers as a favorite. I gotta go Saints here. It doesn't feel right to think that the Saints could win 2 games in a row, but why not the Saints? All the time we see division teams that are quote unquote bad win these division games late.
Yeah, and I thought we saw like Devin Neal starting to look like an NFL running back. You know, again, I think just the element of what Tyler Shuck showed with his legs, is two things. One, from a defense, like from scheming against it, you have to like. He obviously was running faster than people were thinking he was running because he a couple times made guys
wide
take
angle release,
horrible angles. But two, it shows you he's trying to do what? Win the game. Because what is the Saints organization always trying to do? Back to the Saints preview. They're always trying to win a little too hard. I love the idea of them getting some wins down the stretch here. And does it convince them they don't need to draft a quarterback, Sean?
Right.
Like, is there something that Tyler Shuck can do to convince the Saints that they don't need to draft a quarterback?
I think keep winning. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's interesting. We'll see. This is a good evaluation. These next 4 games of Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck, Ryan, he hit 2 touchdowns last week, kind of out of nowhere. What do you think his pricing is this week for 2 touchdowns?
I mean, it probably shouldn't change. It probably should be something like, 50 to 1 to 100 to 1 in that range. But if it got smashed down because they all of a sudden see him as a mobile guy, then he'll be in like the 35 to 1 range. Do you have a number?
Oh yeah, that's what I was asking you. Yeah. What do you think is
35 to 1,
70 to 1?
Okay, so so it didn't get to because it was 100 to 1, I believe, last week.
Yeah.
So he got a little bit of respect, but that's still a very playable number if you wanted to play it.
Yeah. No, just kind of interesting. I don't know if he could do it in back-to-back weeks, but also why not? It seems like they're. I don't know if they're in love with Taysom Hill anymore for the goal line stuff. Why not a little Tyler Shuck action?
Ever since Kellen Moore apologized for not using him enough, if you remember back on, he's and remember we were shocked at how he looked healthy, or he was back so quick. He's looked horrible since then. No,
very bad. And our buddy Scott Reichel, the Propcast, amongst many other, he was on the Taysom Hill under longest 6.5 rush, and that was an easy catch.
Very sharp.
Very sharp.
Very sharp.
True D-Gen play.
All right. Next up, game number 4 in the early window, and this is there's been a couple of spreads I've noted as like that a little confusing where the numbers at. Lions head to Los Angeles, where we get the Stafford Goff Bull. We loved. I saw someone doing a side by side of their stats this year. Will ever be compared as McVay couldn't wait to get Jared Goff's ass out of town to pick up Stafford. Now the Rams and Stafford are the 1 seed, and they're laying 5.5 points, minus 265 on the money line. Lions plus 225. 55 is the total. Colby's got some demonic shit on the Rams side over here. That looks
That's like a psychedelic. This looks like from the 70s or something.
The devil's trying to get you to take the Rams here. I thought this number stuck out as being a little bit inflated. I understand the Lions are reeling a bit, and there's a bunch of injuries in the secondary.
Prime Branch injuries is big.
It's pretty big, and I understand the Rams have been great. But the blowout spot last week was predictable. It was very predictable, and now they're going to get a full effort Detroit Lions team. That
this is when
is a must-win spot.
Men. I always love Dan Campbell when Michelle Tafoy is interviewing him, and he just keeps calling her man. Man, we gotta go. What do you guys have? Dan? What do you guys have to do there in the second half? Man, we just have to. He keeps going man when addressing the female sideline reporter. His football brain doesn't know how to acknowledge a female talking to him.
No.
But it's an all-time football guy, and Dan Campbell. This is their bread and butter. This is what the whole Dan Campbell brand is built on. Is showing up in games where you're an underdog. 18-4 ATS is a dog of 4 or more. Any sort of like stuff you want to look at, Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, they've been great as dogs and show up and sneakily maybe pull out some of these games. Now, the problem is the Lions just continue to be so banged up on the defensive side. The Rams defensive line against the Lions offensive line against an immobile Jared Goff. But I would say, Amon-Ra, who looked pretty good. I mean, I still don't understand. It seemed like there was no way he was going to play. Then you watch the pregame stuff on Thursday against the Cowboys, and it's like, holy shit, he looks great. Goes out, has 90 yards, looks pretty good. Now he's got that extra Thursday rest, coming off 10 days rest.
He's a dog. That's why he was fun. I mean, he didn't look 100% in the game, but he's still able to have a good game.
But he was, I guess he was effective. I thought
it just speaks to how good he is, and how I think also there's an element of, when you're an elite route runner, you can still get open if you're at 80%. And I think him getting open and being in the spot that Goff is expecting is what matters most. Now, are we at all concerned about Jared Goff? I know we always bring it up, and I think we debunk the idea that Sean McVay owns Jared Goff or knows how to defeat Jared Goff. But I was sitting and trying to understand this number, Sean. It's almost like they're giving the Rams a home field advantage, right? Because the Lions are going to have the crowd. I think to some degree. You don't think it's going to be overwhelming? Too close to the holidays?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because my one source for ticket info on visiting fans, made it seem like this was like a high alert or like whatever they rate it 5.
Oh, okay.
In terms of visitor fan takeover, and so it just strikes me as I like what is this spread in Detroit then?
Yeah, are the Rams 2.5 probably.
Okay, so it should be Rams 2.5. In a way, I feel like maybe it's Rams
I think
3.
this should be 3.5. I think anything over 4 to me is a play on the Lions. I think at the very least they're not going to go out quietly. They will be playing for that back door, and them getting some explosive plays against this Rams secondary, I think is very much in play. And this is Dan Campbell 101. This is ultimate get up spot. And to me also, I want to be on the opposite side of both the Rams and Seattle. Like having this massive game that is on Thursday night. How can it not be a little look ahead spot for this Rams?
Yeah.
And Seattle. And Seattle. Now Seattle, it's a little different situation, and maybe you could make a case for and against. Like Seattle's looking past them, much more an inferior opponent. I don't know if the Rams they should take the Lions seriously, but I think 5.5 points is way too much. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I mean Seattle. Also, like the idea of them not covering because they're up, 17, and they let them drive the Colts drive down at the end of the game is different than the Rams blowing a game against the Lions. Worth noting that places like the Circa have taken a lot of LA money.
Really?
Early in the week. So.
Okay.
Well, it opened 4.5. It moved to 5.5. So. But I'm with you. Hopefully we're not on the public dog here. Hopefully our Lions don't have fleas.
Give me the Lions plus 5.5.
Let's go. Goff revenge spot. If I was someone who hated Sean McVay, like and played against him and had revenge games against him, that would be the most focus I would get because guy's so annoying. He's so annoying. I was late to the party on him being annoying, but
see, Ryan, you got to think that. People will go, well, your McVay impression is annoying. I go, well, yeah, that's the part.
When you said that, someone wrote to you and said that you got to stop doing, or maybe it was a comment on Spotify or something. You got to stop doing the Sean McVay. It's very annoying. Like that's a compliment.
It's
right?
accurate. Yeah. Thing here is we're not looking ahead. We're taking it one game at a time. We're really locked in, taking focused on the Lions. We're gonna get the ball rolling. Play Corum, Kyron Williams.
I mean, I'm with you. I think there's some strong look ahead sandwich type letdown spots this week. This is one of them. All right, moving along. I think this is the last game in the late window. 125 kick on the West Coast. The Tennessee Titans, after their big win against the Cleveland Browns on the road, by the way, they now head to the Bay to take on the Niners, where the San Francisco 49ers are laying 12.5, minus 750 on the money line. Titans plus 550, 44.5 is the total. I haven't said it yet on the show, so I can say it without you giving me shit, but this is officially my crescendo into the playoff team. Is it possible they could win the division? Sean,
49ers.
Yes.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Anyway, but we very live in this game.
I mean, do you think they could win the division? I guess they're only a game back. Yeah, and obviously Rams and Seattle play each other. They have a very favorable matchup this week.
Odds right now -150 for the Rams, Seahawks +190, San Francisco 49ers are +750.
Now I guess I don't know the tiebreakers well enough off the top of my head, like how they break up in division. But yeah, they do play the Seahawks at home that final game, so that would certainly be a good opportunity. Look at their schedule; very winnable games left for them.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they're going to end up. They have a chance to own the tiebreaker over the Seahawks, but not over the Rams, and then in a 3-way tiebreaker. I don't know where it goes from there, but as far as laying a big number against this Titans team coming off a win,
yes.
Smash!
Yeah, I think, and again, the crescendo starts here. I think we're going to see an offensive outburst. I expect a big Kittle game. I'm sure McCaffrey will get involved. And, you know, one of the things, while Cam Ward has been making some nice throws from time to time, I think he's also making some very bad plays.
Yeah. I mean, Shador looked noticeably better in that game last week. And Cam has had a couple moments when he was running the ball. I thought that helped him. He refused to run against the Browns. They did get the win, but a lot of that was just through the running game. And I don't know if they'll be able to do that against the 49ers. Love fading the Titans off a win. I mean, the Titans defense did not play well. They let up. I mean, Shador threw for 300 yards, only rookie quarterback to throw for 300 yards. A lot of people are pointing that out in the offensive rookie of the year race. And San Francisco 49ers, their offense is just going to run all over them. And 49ers boat racing this Titans team, I think it's not a look ahead spot for them. They need to win for the division, for wild card. They have the Colts up next, so I don't think they're looking ahead to anything. They're coming off the bye. They're as healthy as they've been all season in some ways. So yeah, 49ers is a smash spot.
Yeah, I mean, they finished the season with this game at the Colts, which is a primetime game, by the way, Monday night. We're going to get to see Phillip Rivers on Monday night next week, potentially, Sean, if Riley Leonard,
if he survives,
isn't the guy. Then they have the Bears on Sunday Night Football, and they end with the Seahawks. So the idea that they're run out and they're playing the Seahawks with a chance to win the division, it's kind of intriguing. I'll have to do a little bit more math on this one, but they definitely have a path. What they'll need the Rams to lose. I guess they need the Rams to lose one of those games. And so the Rams, obviously you need the Lions to win. Then the Rams play the Seahawks at Atlanta and Arizona. So, but if they lose both, they're good.
You need the Rams to lose to Seattle
and Detroit.
Okay.
So it's basically starting with a mechanical parlay where you have Detroit money line and Niners money line this week.
But then that's probably not better than 750.
No, but that's just the beginning. You would then take that mechanical parlay and take next week. You'd want to take Seattle on the money line against the Rams and San Francisco money line against the Colts. And so at that point, you're probably north of that. I bet.
Trevor Ryan still alive in Survivor. Hopefully he's alive in Circuit Survivor, because you would it's down to 10 people, 18 million. But Trevor, yes, 49ers definitely a safe
that's a good question.
Survivor play.
There's a lot of good picks this week, and you know, good PSA. As we're both on the Niners here. Yes, but good PSA. This is a great week to highlight why sometimes you just got to play week to week in Survivor. While yes, maybe you weren't planning on taking Seattle this week and they're laying a bigger number than you expect. You have massive numbers from like Jacksonville, Houston. All of a sudden is this kind of smash play in Survivor. I just think their options become available because teams fall apart. Yeah, and yeah, maybe you don't I don't think many people were thinking they were going to smash the Jags against the Jets this week.
Kramer, hey, shout out to Novig. If you're using an odds screen, you might see that Novig has the best odds. If Novig is available in your state and you haven't signed up, what are you waiting for? Great prices, and they got sides, totals, picks, props, whatever you need. Novig has you covered. Download the Novig app today. Toss in that promo code SGPN. Spend $5, get $50. That's promo code SGPN over on Novig. Get in, download that Novig app. Fun, easy to use, available in a bunch of states. Check out if they're available where you're at. Use that promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Love Underdog and their pick'em. Very fun. Play $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you use our promo code SGPN. Appreciate all the support with all our sponsors. Kramer, let's put together a little pick'em entry. What do you like?
Let's see. What did we just feel like we've had a lot of mentions of various things that we like. I'm pulling up the list of numbers as we speak.
George Kittle, you mentioned. I like that.
George Kittle. Yeah, I guess I always get a little nervous in the games that could turn out to be. Why don't we go to the Lions Rams?
Okay, what do you like there? I like Jameson Williams.
I think we could go Jameson. I think we could go. I think probably Amon-Ra is a slightly better matchup, but it's a bigger number. But I was
Jameson Williams only 59.5 receiving.
All right, let's play that.
Yeah, it's a smash. A lot of ways that gets home.
And then, we were talking about how bonkers those Bengals Ravens games tend to get. We can either play a Ravens tight end or we can go the other way and just, donkey play like a Jamar Chase. No T Higgins or Gesicki, but one of the receivers. Gesicki's only 30 yards.
Yeah, I like the Ravens tight ends. You always got to take tight ends. I also like Tinsley. Now they don't have Tinsley because T Higgins is out. They don't have and Tinsley's been good filling in for. They don't have Tinsley's yards, but if you want to take Gesicki yards, I'm fine.
Worth noting that was without Burrow. So I don't know if Burrow has extreme chase bias, and then he likes Gesicki too. So it feels riskier for me.
Let's take the Gesicki higher receiving yards. Maybe he's a long shot touchdown play. So
he's got a pretty short touchdown price. So maybe they're expecting it.
Okay, so $100 entry would return you $300. Jameson Williams higher 59.5 receiving yards. Mike Gesicki higher 30.5 receiving yards. Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN.
All right, down to the primetime game, Sean. We've got Sunday Night Football. Maybe we skip watching this one. 9 and the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas is laying 5.5, minus 250 on the money line. Vikings plus 215, 47.5 is the total. If they allowed you to surrender an NFL game, this would be it.
Oh wow! Right.
I don't want to take the Cowboys, obviously, and I mean 9 coming off of
9 is hot. 9 is hot.
He's hot at the box office.
No, he didn't. He didn't even play that great, but he played much better than he had been playing previously. So
would you rather have JJ McCarthy or Shedeur Sanders?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, JJ McCarthy or Shedeur Sanders. I mean, the circus surrounding Shedeur is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought he looked really, again, that's tough because they both had such small sample sizes.
If you swap their scenarios too, I mean, feels like JJ's in the healthier scenario. Maybe we think Kevin O'Connell, although Stefanski's a sharp offensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, are we saying, do I like, am I coaching the Browns in this scenario, or am I just an independent coach with an independent quarterback?
Yeah, you're starting a team. Do you want JJ McCarthy or
I think Shedeur? I would go Shedeur.
I'd probably want to let's see if I could reset JJ. Maybe that's it. Although Shedeur has probably shown more at the NFL level at this point.
Yeah,
it's a crazy thing to say, but. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to back the Cowboys. Obviously,
it's weird too because what you like about Shedeur is his contract. He's a 5th round pick, and normally there would be no pressure on a 5th round pick, but it's a kind of a weird dynamic where he has an insane amount of pressure. But even though he's a 5th round pick, if you're getting this quality of play this early from a 5th round quarterback, normally you're thrilled, right? But because of like the weirdness surrounding Shedeur Sanders and the expectations and everything else, it's kind of a weird thing. And then on the other side, JJ McCarthy, it's so much of it is expectation driven, right? Because McCarthy was what, top 10 pick overall, and you're paying a lot more for a first round quarterback than you are for a 5th round quarterback. So I love a quarterback on a rookie contract, and I've seen starting caliber football out of Shedeur Sanders. So
that's where I would say he's had some good throws. I think you're getting a little out over your skis saying being a starter, but that's fine. It's your opinion.
I'm also trying to be fair to JJ McCarthy. Like, it's fun to kill him. It's funny that Thor was so high on him, but it's also been a very small sample size. Like, again, he was coming off an injury. That's why it was so crazy. The Vikings fans' expectations are so high, and the same thing for Shedeur people who have crazy high expectations. Like, guys, these quarterbacks are rookies. I know we're living this instant gratification society, but a lot of times it takes a while for rookie quarterbacks to figure it out.
I certainly think, perhaps this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know which side of the argument of sitting them versus playing them immediately this helps, but I think it's likely my take on JJ versus Shedeur would be it's likely both guys are backups to start the year next year.
I think Shedeur is going to have a chance to compete for a starting job, and I think JJ
over Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, 100%. Our buddy Brad, who covers the Browns, says Deshaun is not starting.
He reached out, was like, no.
Yeah, you're like, he's definitely starting.
I'm not touching Deshaun Watson.
We'll have to. I want to hear from Big Play, Dave.
And I would like to see Shedeur Sanders with Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Wouldn't mind seeing that in a dome.
I mean, I think it probably you'll see the same type of stuff, right? Because Shedeur doesn't know how to be on time. Some stuff will look awesome. There's some great talent catching the ball, so there'll be some exciting plays, but there'll also be some really bad. Like, I think the issue with Shedeur will continue to be the bad stuff. So when the games that look good will be the games where he doesn't have the bad stuff.
Right,
so
but ideally, as you develop as a rookie, you lose some of those. I haven't seen any,
but he's had that the entire time we've watched him.
Sure,
at the college level,
but also his college career was completely different than.
No, I understand, but
JJ McCarthy. I would just say I haven't seen.
I'm not judging him against JJ McCarthy's college career. I would say JJ, we've seen some of the same problems as well. Like I
haven't seen much positive out of JJ. Yeah. And so what was your official answer? You would take JJ because you hate Shedeur, right?
I think when he's been on time, he's shown better all around quarterbacking skill.
So you would take Shedeur
right now, though, as they're playing right now. I'd rather have Shedeur because his freestyle, even though it possesses a lower ceiling, it gives you a chance to win right now. We're taking the Vikings, I assume. You want to break down this game?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to Nine's performance?
Well, you're the one who brought up this debate about Shedeur versus. I know you're obsessed with Shedeur, and I appreciate it. Gets the clicks, gets us some heat. This is a good fade of the Cowboys. Again, the Cowboys with hype. Dak has not been good as a favorite. Again, they're fine at when they have low expectations, but when it comes to the Cowboys exceeding expectations, CeeDee Lamb. Do you think CeeDee Lamb plays, Ryan?
His head bounced pretty hard off the turf. Now
he's limited though, so that usually means if you're limited on a Wednesday, you're probably going to clear.
We're also in week 15, so we know we're at the late season concussion protocol state, which means that players will not miss games anymore. We also heard Jerry Jones say that it scared him when CeeDee Lamb's head bounced off the ground. So I wonder. Look, Jerry wants to make the playoffs, but it also scared him. What does that mean? Reading between the lines.
I have no idea.
I think he's on track, so that's all you can hope for. You just got to make sure he gets he gets out on the field by Friday. They can activate him.
To me, it's just the Cowboys defense. I know they had the trade and everyone was high on their defense, but to me, we saw it against the Lions. The Cowboys defense is still not fixed. 28th in defensive EPA the last 2 months. That to me is now JJ McCarthy. Part of the reason he was struggling was he was facing really good defenses. Now that he has a chance, kind of sow his oats against bad defenses like the Commanders, like the Cowboys, you're going to see a different 9. So give me the Vikings covering the 5.5.
Cowboys are also coming off a stretch where they've had to face the Eagles, the Lions, and the Chiefs. So there's so many situational elements that have me liking the Vikings here. And what I'll say is, we finally got the beginning of the George Pickens creates distractions.
Yeah,
Cowboys aren't. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about it. So if CeeDee Lamb, I guess whether CeeDee Lamb goes or not, I'll be very intrigued to see what George Pickens looks like. He does seem to have been fired up by Richard Sherman's comments. But yeah, give me the Vikings. Are we playing the money line, Sean?
I think I'll just stick to the points here. Give me the Vikings plus 5.5. 9 gets it done in Big D.
Yeah, that running game is gonna need to travel as well, I'd say, and we're gonna need Justin Jefferson to have more than like 30 yards or whatever he had last week. All right.
Against his defense, he can get it done.
You would hope so. I mean, like you mentioned, the Addison deep stuff certainly is very attractive. All right, last game, Monday Night Football. Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought we could flex Monday Night Football. Maybe they want to play this one. Miami is in the hunt, Sean. The Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers minus 3.5 at home, minus 185 on the money line. Dolphins plus 160. 41.5 is the total. A lot to unpack here. Dolphins have been playing better. They are actually in the playoff hunt. They have the same record as the Chiefs. The Steelers lead the division after the big win against the Ravens last week. So I guess if you're worried about an emotional letdown spot, they also have the Lions random non-conference game on deck. And specifically the Dolphins run defense has gotten better. So if you're looking at that matchup specifically this week, as Arthur Smith loves to run the ball, apparently DK Metcalf had to stay behind, had some stomach issues.
Yeah. Supposedly he should be good to go.
Sounds like
and apologies for us. Like, part of the handicap against the Jets, well, one was Tyrod Taylor playing, and of course he got knocked out with a groin injury, but that it would be below 40 degrees. And I blame climate change.
Was it not?
No. Kickoff in New York City was 42 degrees.
Oh my God. What a bad beat.
So yes, our handicap of Tua not being able to win games when it's 40 below, that definitely applies here, because it's supposed to be 19 degrees Monday night in Pittsburgh. Tomlin and the Steelers in general own Monday night. Tomlin 22-5 straight up on Monday, including 11-1 straight up at home in Pittsburgh. The one loss was during COVID, where they didn't have any fans. So Mike Tomlin Monday night at Pittsburgh, when they have fans, undefeated. And I think Aaron Rodgers was looking very good. Achane is banged up. Do you think Achane plays, Ryan?
I mean, the report was that he could have returned to the game.
Okay.
So I assume that means he's going to play. And obviously that's where their best advantage lies. And so it's kind of a critical piece. I would say in general, we're in a dangerous zone laying 3.5 with Tomlin.
He's actually been okay in this. Tomlin off a win, laying a field goal or more at home. He's been above 500 ATS, so it's not as dangerous as you would once think. But Ryan, to me, it just comes down to
Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback.
They just can't keep winning with Tua the way they're winning, especially against the Steelers team. And I think that was a nice win by the Steelers. Rallied the troops. 4 games of sub 175 passing yards for Tua. I just don't think that style of play you're going to be able to win and or cover against the Steelers team in a cold, frigid environment with the fans back in.
What is it? They say this is a football weather game.
Oh, great hitting weather, Ryan. Great hitting weather.
I'm gonna lay in. I honestly tried to find a way to get to the Dolphins in this one.
Really?
Just to check, because they're playing better. The numbers are suggesting that their defense is even playing a little bit better. But no, I was like, you know what? They always look good against the Jets because Tua owns the Jets. and it's going to be cold. The report I read said with the wind, it could feel like it's 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Do we see Tua in the wetsuit?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Time for our lock, dog, and tease. Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade all sports in all 50 states with the promo code SGPN. Get you $20. 2 new traders. That's Kalshi. Promo code SGPN. Kramer, what would you want to go first? What do you got?
Sure. Happy to go first. Lock number 1. I think, just a lot of interesting dogs this week, but lock number 1, I like the way, that they've been working themselves right up into that back door and sometimes getting their ass beat. But give me the Arizona Cardinals plus the 9.5.
Oh, okay.
I'm fading this Houston Texans offense laying that many points. Lock number 2. We just watched it. Hopefully I'm not a donkey, but give me the Bengals plus the 2.5.
It's Dominic the donkey.
It is Italian
obvious.
or it is Christmas time where the Italians turn into Dominics.
Yeah, feels pretty obvious there. And then lock number 3. I another one where the Saints beating the Panthers just seems very obvious. Plus 2.5 for the Saints. Dog. You know, I think Dan Campbell rallies the troops. Plus 5.5, or sorry, plus 225.
Detroit money line.
And actually, let's we're gonna make a quick update to my locks. Leave the Saints, leave the Bengals, Cardinals off, Bears laying 7.5 on.
Okay.
Fading Shador was great last week. I'm gonna do it again. Tease. Let's take the. Oh, there's so many fun teases we can have. Let's take the Chargers up to 10.5. Let's take the Broncos up to 8.5. And let's take the. Let's take the. Oh no, I can't do both. I'm trying not to double dip. Let's take the Bills up to 6.
Buffalo up to 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is not. Stanford Wong would be disappointed if he saw your teasing.
You like to throw a little curveball at Stanford from time to time.
Okay, lock number 1 for me. 2 in cold weather. Give me the Steelers laying 3.5. I think you're right, Kramer. I'm also going to lock up the Chicago Bears. I like them. Coming off a loss, I think it would be. I'd be a little bit more worried about the sandwich spot if it was not. If it wasn't.
They're the 7 seed now. They're all week. They're hearing about how they went from 1 to 7.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different because they have a wild card race to worry about. It's not quite like say for example the AFC North where it's just a division winner.
And I'll go Denver Broncos plus 2.5 as a dog.
No,
lock it up.
Fading the pack. Huh?
Yeah, I mean Denver at home in December. I think it's going to be a tough out for. You know what? Actually, you know what? I'm going to go Detroit plus 5.5. I like the fact that you get the. I like Campbell as a dog. That's so strong. But I do like. There's a lot of stuff I'm pretty good on, but maybe not. Yeah, so Steelers minus 3.5, Bears minus 7.5, Lions plus 5.5, and my money line dog. I like the Bengals. Obviously, that's a tiny dog. I like the Cardinals. I think that's a pretty spicy dog there, plus 375. Dare I take the Colts to shock the world? It's pretty interesting. Think the Lions are live. Let's see. Oh, where will I end up? Commanders. I mean, but they're.
I like this. We'll call this segment. Even, Sean goes through the entire card.
They're barely even a dog. I'm just making sure I don't miss any obvious dogs.
9's available.
Yeah, that is true.
Phillip Rivers / Riley Leonard available.
Do we think? Is there any chance Justin Fields plays, Ryan? Because then the Jets are kind of intriguing. You know what? Yeah, give me Arizona. Give me the Arizona Cardinals plus 375 on the money line to shock the world. Houston, after they beat the Chiefs, little letdown spot. Jacoby Brissett in a dome, throwing all over the place. Walter Nolan, I think, is going to impact the game. So give me the Arizona Cardinals as my money line dog for my tease. I'm surprised you did not put the 49ers in a tease, Ryan. Get them down to 6.5.
That's a nice one.
It's a very good tease. Give me the Broncos up to 8.5. Stanford Wong would love that tease, and give me the Bengals up to 8.5. So the tease is Bengals 8.5, Broncos 8.5, 49ers 6.5. All right, circa million time, Ryan. I'll put in the Bears here. Chicago minus 7.5.
Put the Lions in there.
Detroit plus 5.5. Bengals plus 2.5.
Steelers.
Pittsburgh minus 3.5. What's our final play?
I have the Saints locked up, but we can do something.
I like the Saints.
Let's keep it even.
Okay, circa million. We got Bears laying 7.5, Detroit plus 5.5, Cincy plus 2.5, and the Steelers laying 3.5, and of course the Saints catching 2.5 points.
I think this is basically going to be my betting card plus probably the Cardinals with the points.
Yeah,
that
because I like more than just the locks. I think we got some nice plays here in the circa million. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Of course, smash that subscribe button. Tell a buddy, get them in on the Sports Gambling Podcast. And again, big thanks to all the Spotify users. Spotify Wrapped, you guys killed it. We blew up on Spotify this year. Appreciate everyone answering all your questions and comments, even your Jalen Hurts slander over on Spotify. Toss us some questions and comments over there. And while you do, toss us 5 stars. Always appreciate that. And we're going to play the Hey D-Gen song from our buddy Carl Restivo, and you can find that over on YouTube if you want to play it yourself. Shout out to Carl, great musician, producer, and of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Good luck this weekend, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.
I've got a fuck ton of bets on some games tonight. Got my lucky shirt on, yeah, I'm high as a kite. Kickoffs are starting soon, I better settle in. Maybe be here a while, now let the games begin. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know win. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro, I just bet it all on Kansas City minus 10. Shit, I never lose, I just push or win. Parlays, teasers, tons of prop bets. I just bet heavy as fuck on this money line live bet. Got my cigars, my booze, and a bag of edibles. We the real men of D-Gen, this is how we roll. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know win. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro, I just bet it all on Kansas City minus 10. Shit, I never lose, I just push or win. Score is tied and stakes is high. How's my prediction? It can't be denied. Hoping that this game don't slip away, cause this could be my fucking lucky day. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know win. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro, I just bet it all on the Houston Texans minus 10. Dude, I never lose, I just push or win. Only tell the wife when I have a big win, but it feels like they get fewer and far in between. Meanwhile, I love the Packers to win outright. Plus, I'm triple stacked with them in the Millie Maker tonight. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know win. Hey D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro, I just bet it all on Jacksonville plus 10. Shit, I never lose, I either push or win. Hey Sean, yes Ryan, fly Eagles fly. Ryan, dude, wow, you're so sweet. I really appreciate that. It's gonna be a great season for my Eagles. And hey, just for that, I'll give you a banger Giants drop. Now how does that sound? No way. Here we go. Gee man, the Giants are a great football team, and I have a weird crush on the head coach. I mean, he dropped all that weight, right? Dude, I'm dying. I know. Uh-oh, here comes Decker. Hey, Decker! Hey, kids! I just have one thing to say to you. What what's that deck? San Diego Superchargers charge. Bro, they not an SD anymore. How many times do I have to tell you? That is a disgusting act. Hey, any of you guys want to toe alcohol disgusting? Hey, yo, how about my pads? Here we go, baby freaking wheel, man. Shut it, Capper. You like that? Careful.